We are back with more natural remedies for cold and flu season. Today we are making a very unusual cough syrup that uses garlic, onions, and ginger. So I have tried this. It does work. It is pretty strong and surprising, but the main thing is if it works.
Welcome to Ridgehaven Homestead. From the mountains of Upper East Tennessee, we share snippets of our off-grid life, cabin build, and garden blessings. Pour yourself a cup of tea, sit back, and take a peek into our off-grid home and family.
So what we want to do first is we want to grab an onion, any kind of onion, but it needs to be like a medium size. It can be yellow, white, red, whatever color you want. I am going to be using this red one, purple onion. I don't know why it's called red. So we want to peel this, which I've already done, and we want to slice it thinly. We're going to put it in this jar. We are supposed to have a 12-ounce jar. You can use a mason jar. I'm using this old jelly jar. Slice your onion thinly. You can slice it or chop it. Go ahead and put your onions in your jar as best they fit. You can just kind of stack them if that works for you. You might need to cut them a little bit more, but I think they'll work pretty well if I just stack them. If it doesn't quite fit, you don't have to use every single bit of it, but most of it should fit. Next thing we're going to add is 3 or 4 cloves of garlic. We're going to go with 4. Fresh garlic has so many wonderful health properties to it. Fresh garlic, the allicin in fresh garlic has antifungal, antiparasitic, antibiotic, and antiviral properties. It's such a good remedy. These are nice fat cloves of garlic. We want to slice our garlic, cut the ends off, cut any bad spots off. We want to slice it and slightly crush it. You can mince it, you can use a garlic press, anything you like. You can just thinly slice it because the main thing we want to do is get the components from the garlic activated. So if you crush it, that will release more of its oils. I don't really want to crush it onto my cutting board, so I'm going to smash it lightly onto the lid of this. If we smash it slightly, it will release more of those good allicin compounds. Get every bit of that in there that you can. Smells so good. Okay, go ahead and scrape that into your jar. Right on top there. The next thing we're going to add is 2 tablespoons of raw ginger grated. You can use like powdered ginger if you like, but it won't be as strong. It's always best to use the grated if you can. You may notice that I'm not peeling it, and we don't necessarily want the peelings, but usually when we grate it, the peelings will stay behind. So that's just something that I have found. Ginger is great for our immune systems and it's great for our throats. Okay, once we have that grated, all that good ginger is inside, we're going to put this in our container too. And it does look like our container is filling up. I just realized that I told you wrong. I think I told you a 14-ounce jar, but it really needs to be 24 ounces. I have pulled out this 32-ounce mason jar. We're just going to transfer everything into it, and it's wide mouth. So we're just going to do that and put it all in there and keep the show going. Okay, so in this jar, in the big jar, we don't have to pack it as tightly. I got mixed up in my jar size for some reason. Okay, but it is still nice to pack it pretty level because we are going to be putting our honey on top of this. So get all of that ginger in there that's grated, all that ground ginger. And I am also, since I don't want to miss any of the health benefits, I'm going to put these little pieces of ginger in because we're going to strain them out. That way we're just going to get a little bit more in there. So far, this is what it looks like. We've got our garlic, we've got our onions, and we have our ginger. Now the next step is honey. We want raw honey. Local is best from the bees getting the local pollen, and that helps with our allergies. So it's going to take a good bit of honey, so just be aware of that. We're going to use some of this honey. And what we want to do is pour it until it barely covers the onions. Now it may look like it's covering them now, but you have to be patient and let it seep down through there. You see that? And so once it fills in all the gaps, then it still needs to cover the onion. So we can help it along a little bit and try to help it fill in those gaps. Now this is not one of those recipes where we ferment the honey. There are lots of them that go around with garlic and honey. This is not that. This is only going to sit overnight and pull the juices out of the garlic and the onions and the ginger so we can get the therapeutic benefits, but we're not fermenting it. We're keeping this raw and fresh. And you'll be surprised what it does overnight. Okay, so I do believe we have enough honey. Even when it's filled my gaps, it still is covering all those ingredients. Now what we're going to do, we're going to put a lid on this. This is liquid gold. Okay, we're putting a lid on, and we're going to store this overnight, at least 6 to 8 hours, at room temperature so that that honey can draw out all the healing properties of the garlic, the ginger, the onion, and if you can, every hour or so, or every so often, swirl it around in there so it can get mixed up even better, and that just helps pull those things out. In the morning, what we're going to do is we're going to take this, and all of the honey is going to be a lot more liquidy. It's going to be like a syrup rather than a thick honey. We are going to strain out the garlic and the onions and all the solid stuff, and we're going to keep the honey. And you can do whatever you want with the onions and the garlic and the ginger. You can eat them because by then they will be infused with the honey and they'll be very different. You can, they will be great for a stir fry if you want to caramelize them. All kinds of good things you can do. But after we strain all this stuff out, then we're going to take the juice of a lemon, and this is a super juicy lemon that I've already been using some. We're going to squeeze that in there and mix it, and then we're going to store this in the fridge. And this is an excellent cough syrup for adults. This should be for anyone over 1 year of age because you don't want to give honey to children under 1 year of age. But now we have to be patient and let it do its thing. And I'm seeing this as it's settling a little bit more. I'm seeing that my onions are sticking up a little, so I'm gonna put a wee little bit more honey so that I can make sure that I get everything that we need. Remember, raw honey is good for medicinal purposes. Can you use Manuka honey? Yes, you can. I've seen Manuka honey. I've not bought any. I did see some at Costco the other day. Very good. You will be surprised how delicious this tastes. It does have the pop of garlic in it. It does have a little hint of onion, but with the honey in there, it's a very soothing mixture, and then the lemon and the ginger, all very good things for your throat. So we're putting this aside and we're going to be patient until morning. It has been 24 hours and we are here to check out our honey cough syrup. So what I did was I removed the lid, and in the early times of making this, the onions and the garlic tend to float up to the surface, and so you want the honey to be over the top of them. So I put this heavy weight. I actually put the pestle from my mortar and pestle on top of it so that it weighed the onions down, and periodically I have been taking that and kind of smashing up my onions and my garlic just to release a lot of that goodness. If you can see what we have here, the honey has gotten significantly thinner. I will just do a little more smashing of this now. It's just helping it to release those juices. So I've been doing this several times. It's just very satisfying to hear the garlic and the onions smashing, but I wasn't able to smash every single bit of it. So now what we're going to do with this, can you see how thin that is? It's very watery. And that is because the honey has pulled out a lot of liquids from the onion and the garlic. And so now it's time to strain it. What I have is another mason jar with a funnel and a strainer, and we are going to strain it right into another clean jar. That will just be one less step if we were to put it into something else, and then we'd have to put it back. First of all, I want to scrape all this honey mixture off of my pestle so that I don't waste it. It smells very garlicky, and I can really smell the ginger too. Okay, you see all that? We're going to pour it straight in here. And normally honey is not going to be that thin, but this honey has pulled all that goodness out. So we're going to go ahead and scrape this jar out. If you have somebody sick in your home, what you can do is you can add some water to this jar, swish it around, and make a very nice soothing cough drink. Okay, so we're going to kind of smash this down in here. We want to get all that honey out as much as we can. And you see how the onions have shrunken down in size, and so has the garlic. You don't have to throw this away. If you have a recipe that you want to make like caramelized onions or something like that, you can use this for that. It would make a nice addition to a stir fry. Keep in mind it's going to be sweet and gingery, but you can make a nice sweet and sour sauce with that. We don't really like to waste anything, do we? Okay, let's scrape this off. We're almost done, but not quite. So this is what the honey looks like. It's a little bit dark, very fragrant. It smells very gingery. So our last step is adding the lemon juice. You want to squeeze one lemon, depending on how big it is. Get the juice out of there. And then we want to add that juice. So I have a nice juicy lemon here. The lemon juice will definitely add to the flavor, and it will give you vitamin C for your immune system. Okay, I have a decent amount of lemon juice. I'm just gonna add that right to my honey mixture. And we're gonna give it a good stir. And now the proof of the pudding is in the eating, so let's give it a taste. What stands out? With ingredients like honey, ginger, onion, garlic, and lemon juice, what do you think stands out the most? I'll tell you, it's the ginger and the honey. You can taste the garlic a little bit and maybe a little bit of onion, but it's not overpowering. It's kind of in the background. So you want to take a tablespoon of this for a cough for adults. Remember, only for children over 1 year old. And you want to store this with a lid in your refrigerator for up to 2 weeks. So here I am thinking that I wish somebody would get sick so we could use this. One little tip, if you don't have anybody who's sick but you want to make this ahead, you can freeze this. It will be fine, and then you can pull it out and thaw it when people are sick. You can actually take this and divide it into 2 jars. You could put it like into 2 pint jars. It's not quite, it's just a little bit over 2 cups here, probably about 20 ounces. So yeah, you could distribute this in any way that you want and save it for that day when you really, really need it. Okay, now you've made an all-natural herbal cough syrup. Let me know what you think, and if you try it. I did learn this at a recent health demonstration that I went to, and I'm so pleased to be able to share it with you. So until next time, stay well, stay safe, and may God bless you. One more thing before we go. If you would be so kind, if you enjoy this content, to hit like and please subscribe. YouTube is doing funny things with their algorithms these days, and sometimes it can be hard to get our content out to the people who would enjoy it. So if that is you, then go ahead and follow us, leave us a comment, and just let us know that you're here. Thank you.